Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sports Central. My name is Emmanuel and today we'll be breaking down Nigeria's goalless draw against Rwanda in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. It's a game that left us with a lot to think about, missed chances, a controversial decision, and the future of the Super Eagles under Austin Eguavoen. So sit tight, grab a drink, and let's get right to it. Alright, let's kick things off by setting the scene. Nigeria went into this match full of confidence after that 3-0 demolition of Benin Republic, but the game against Rwanda was a totally different story. Despite taking 20 shots and creating 3 big chances, we just couldn't find the back of the net. It wasn't for a lack of effort though. Our boys were all over the pitch, but it felt like every time we got close, Rwanda's goalkeeper Fiacre Ntwari was there to shut us down. Ntwari put in a brilliant performance with 9 saves that kept Rwanda in the game. It's frustrating, but that's football, right? Sometimes you dominate, but you just can't find the back of the net. You just can't find that breakthrough. It's all part of the game. Now, let's talk about the pitch, though. The Amahoro Stadium has a hybrid surface, not pure grass like what we are used to in the European leagues. And I think that played a big role in how we struggled to find our rhythm early on. Now, a key talking point here is the artificial pitch. A lot of our players are used to playing on perfect grass surfaces in Europe. So coming to Rwanda and playing on a hybrid pitch was always going to be a challenge. You could see it in the first 10 minutes. Rwanda had the upper hand early on and our boys just couldn't settle. It took time for them to adjust, but once they did, Nigeria took full control of the game and dominated going forward. Now, you can't help but wonder if it did affect the way we played, but credit to the Super Eagles, they adapted well and began to dominate possession. I mean, they controlled the game for majority of that match, and it's something that we should be proud of. The problem was just converting that dominance into goals. Now, one player I really want to talk about is Victor Boniface. He started again ahead of Victor Osimhen, just like in the match against Benin Republic. But to be honest, he struggled to impose himself on the game. Boniface is a different kind of striker from Osimhen, of course. But Osimhen is relentless, right? He presses defenders, makes those vertical runs, and is always looking to score. He's always in those right spaces, always looking to pounce on the ball to score. Boniface, on the other hand, likes to drop deep and link up play with his teammates. Although he had one big moment in that match, some great footwork from him, which eventually hit the crossbar in that match, which was sort of our biggest chance in that game, apart from that goal, which was disallowed by Ademola Lookman. But that was as close as he got. You have to feel for him a little, especially considering the surface and the tough conditions. But at the same time, you have to wonder, was Osimhen the better choice to start? We saw the difference he made when he came on later in that match. Now, let's talk about Nigeria's overall performance. Eguavoen's boys created 3 big chances, had 9 shots on target, but no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't find the goal. Boniface hit the bar and Fiacre Ntwari was like a wall in goal for Rwanda. It's one of those games where the Super Eagles were just unlucky, but hey, this is football, right? Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way and you have to live with that. And to make matters worse, there was a big moment in the game that had all of us Nigerian fans pulling our hair out. I mean, everybody was on their feet. Everybody was screaming goal. But let's talk about Ademola Lookman's goal. Or should I say, the goal that wasn't given. In the 23rd minute, Lookman scored what looked like a perfectly legitimate goal, but the referee called it back for a foul. Now, here's the thing. There was no VAR at the Amahoro Stadium. So the referee's decision stood, but after reviewing the footage, it's clear the goal should have counted. It was a big moment in that match and could have changed the trajectory of that match. If the referee had made the right decision, it would have changed the tempo of the entire game. I mean, why make such a careless mistake in such an important match like this? If that goal had stood, Rwanda would have had to come out of their defensive shell and Nigeria could have punished them even more. Instead, it stayed 0-0 and the Super Eagles just couldn't break through. I mean, look, it's frustrating, but we have to move on. It's part of the game. Sometimes the decisions go your way, sometimes they don't. You just have to pick yourself up and prepare for the next game, right? Now, going into the second half, Eguavoen made some smart changes. He brought on Victor Osimhen and Moses Simon to inject more pace and aggression into the attack, replacing Boniface and Chukwueze. He also made changes in midfield, bringing on Raphael Onyedika and Frank Onyeka for Wilfred Ndidi and Fisayo Dele Bashiru. I mean, these were some decisions I agreed with the coach on this. Those changes needed to be made. The changes added more energy to the team, and we saw Osimhen making those dangerous runs we've come to expect. But despite their best efforts, Rwanda's defense held strong, and their goalkeeper was just unbeatable on the day. Crazy. That guy was a wall. At the point, I was begging him, I got concede, but yeah. Now, after the match, Nigerians were understandably frustrated with the officiating, especially the decision to disallow Lookman's goal. Egyptian referee Mohamed Marouf was criticized for his handling of the game. And let's be real, if that goal had stood, it would have forced Rwanda to open up and could have seen a very different result. I mean, the referee's decision in that particular moment affected the whole trajectory of this match. It's tough, but the team has to move on, of course. The Super Eagles will continue their AFCON qualification journey with 2 key fixtures coming up against Libya in October, and there's plenty of football left to be played. And I believe Nigeria will bounce back from this. I really love the way they are playing. I think they can only become stronger from here. Now, let's talk about the man behind the helm of affairs here, talking about Austin Eguavoen. After 2 matches in charge, we've seen some really good football from the Super Eagles under his leadership. He's played 2 matches, and guess what? We are yet to concede a goal. Nigeria has not conceded a goal in the 2 matches in the 2025 AFCON qualifying. Now, compare that to Finidi George, who played 2 matches and conceded 4 goals. Eguavoen has stuck with the best defense in Africa, and we've seen the results. There's a strong argument for that Eguavoen should be given the job permanently, and I think I perfectly agree with them. He's brought stability to the team, the chemistry is evident, and you can see that the players are happy playing under him. Even those on the bench are in high spirits. I mean, the harmony in the squad right now is undeniable. Eguavoen has already put us in a strong position to qualify for the AFCON, so why not let him finish the job? I mean, if we change it, we've had 3 different coaches in the last 1 year with different philosophies, and I think it's affecting this team. Something is working. I think we should stick with it. Stick with Austin Eguavoen. Despite the draw, of course, there's a lot to be optimistic about this match. We've got a solid defense, exciting players like Lookman and Osimhen, and a coach who seems to be getting the best out of the squad. Next up is a doubleheader against Libya, and I believe we'll come out stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching today's episode of Sports Central. If you enjoyed this episode, of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Super Eagles updates and football discussions. Until next time, keep supporting the team, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.